again, everyone. Thanks for joining us for the second in our series of training videos for high school officials. This is Todd Allen with officialscamp.com, and today we're going to take a look at some pylon plays and officiating the pylon with our special guest, Greg Downum. I'm thankful to have Greg on board and appreciate his help, and I'm sure if you'll pay close attention and listen, that Greg's got a lot of great information that he's going to share with us today. But before we get started with that, I would like to talk about positioning and the 5 positions on the field for a 5-man crew when we're officiating the pylon. The first one I want to talk about is the head linesman in this still shot near the goal line. The head linesman has moved off the field because the hash mark, ball is on the far hash mark to the line judge's side of the field. Just to be quite frank, I don't like this mechanic at all. I don't think there's any reason for us to officiate from a position on the field. I think we get the head linesman back on the sideline. Everything he can see from the sideline, he can see from this position. So since he has responsibility for that sideline, let's move on up and work off the field. Every snap, let's be off of the field. Okay, the back judge here on the inline, he's in good position. Don't have a problem with that. Line judge in good position off the field. The umpire is set. I want to dispel one myth right here that I have heard some conversation about. This is positioning of the umpire in relation to the referee. The referee and the umpire are looking at 2 totally different keys, so their position relative to one another is irrelevant. We want the umpire to officiate the guard, center guard. Those 3 players. He needs to take a position on the field where he can best officiate those 3 keys, regardless of where the referee, and I'm talking about wide side, narrow side, left side, right side, doesn't matter. Forget the referee. Get in a position, umpires, where you can officiate your 3 keys from the best possible position. You have to be able to see the snap. That is the first thing you're going to rule on, is a false start or an illegal snap infraction on those 3 players, and more specifically involving the center. So you've got to be in a good position. Now the referee in this position, now what I like to do is I like our referee to be 12 to 14 yards deep and then 5 yards outside of the tight end position on the throwing arm side of the quarterback. This is obviously a right-handed quarterback. He's got the good position. He's a little shallow, but I don't have a real problem with that. He's maybe 10, maybe 11 yards out. That's pretty close, but I do think he's too tight. What we want that referee to be, like I said, 5 yards outside the tight end position, and his only mechanic is going to be a 45 to the sideline. So if that quarterback drops back into a pass, then he can stand still until he begins to be threatened. We don't want him anywhere near the quarterback, so the referee, if the quarterback starts to roll toward the line judge's side of the field, referees take a 45 toward the sideline, get out of the way, and be in a position where you don't have to be a part of the play, but you can officiate the play. So with that, let's talk about where we want our line judge and head linesman to be when we snap the ball close to the goal line, and we'll let Greg explain that position to you all. Greg, on this particular play that we've been looking at, we've got the ball inside, well, basically the ball out 4-yard line, and first and goal. So when are we going to, at what point on the field do we want to start moving our head linesman and our line judge to the goal line on their initial read?
Right before, the ball snapped inside the 7, and it's first and goal or second and goal or third and goal, then you're going to move immediately to the goal line and officiate the play from that spot.
Now, Greg, that gets a little trickier because now first and goal, I understand, you go straight to the pylon and work, but it gets a little trickier. Let's talk about if we have the ball snapped inside the 7, like you say, but then we have put the line to gain in there between the 7 and the goal line.
Ball snapped to the 7 with a line to gain between the 7 and the goal line. Officiate, slide to the goal line and officiate the play and work back if necessary. Same philosophy on second down. On third down, I would stop at the line to gain and officiate that line because that's the most important line rather than the goal line in that situation.
Okay, Greg, that's great. I got that. Now, if the line to gain is threatened on 3rd or 4th down and the goal line's not threatened, we're going to get to that line and rule on that play. Okay, let's talk about reading our keys and reading the tackle and near the goal line and whether he's going to tell us whether it's a pass play or a run play. How critical is that?
It's very critical. You need to know whether you're anticipating a run play or a pass play, and that will dictate how quickly you move to the goal line.
All right, Greg, let's say now we've read run and we've slid to the goal line and we're set up at the goal line, and now the play ends short of the goal line. How do get back and officiate that spot.
Okay, if I've moved to the goal line and I realize that the runner's going to be tackled near the 5-yard line, I would then slide up the sideline, come in at a 90-degree angle to mark the forward progress spot. Forward progress is really a matter of focus and concentration. As the runner is being tackled in the process of going down, you really have to focus and pay close attention to any part of the body other than the hand or the foot touching the ground, and then where the ball is at that point in time is when you need to mark that spot.
That's good stuff, Greg, with the pylon and forward progress. And one other thing I would like for you to touch on before we wrap this up is a poser, an official that stands at the pylon when the ball crosses and poses and you know, look at me, everybody, as the action goes on by him or even loops around behind him. Could you talk about the correct way to officiate the pylon when the action continues?
So if the ball's being snapped inside the 7 and the circumstances dictate that you've moved to the goal line, if you see the action coming towards you and you feel like the pylon's threatened, you need to move just directly back from the goal line and continue to officiate the play. And as the runner crosses the goal line, don't stay focused on the goal line, but move with the runner and to continue to officiate the play, and don't stop just because we scored a touchdown.
All right, very good, Greg. We appreciate the tips on working the pylon. That's Greg Downum from the Southland Conference. Greg, congratulations on your 2 football championship series playoff games in Division I football, working in Montana, and a semifinal game in Philadelphia. Great work, and we're proud of you, Greg. Now, with taking what we've learned from Greg, let's take a look at these high school plays that we looked at the still pictures from earlier and apply some of the things that Greg has shared with us. Head linesman, good job of going to the goal line, but we want you to stay off the field, work right back toward the forward progress spot, because you had that forward progress spot, and then 90-degree in and then pinch in. This is a tight play involving the goal line, so we want you to crash in on this spot. Same thing with the line judge. Now, we want your line judge to, remember, get to the pylon, work your way back, and then you need to crash in also on this spot short of the goal line. Good job here by our head linesman and line judge, both of these guys crashing in on this touchdown play. I like that, and what I'd like for you to do is to apply the same philosophy that you used coming in and crashing into the action, selling this touchdown on that previous play when you come in and sold us that spot that was short. I want you to continue to just use the same crash technique that you used here. It's very, very good. All right, officials, I appreciate you tuning in and checking out our website and this video for 5-man mechanics, high school, working the pylon. We'll have more videos coming. Obviously, there's not, we can't share everything with you in the 10-minute span here of this video, but we're trying to scratch the surface, give you the basics. You got to dive in, do more research, get more training, work hard around the goal line, officiate those plays, sell them big, work hard, hustle, be in shape, be in position to rule on the plays, and be fair and firm and make the ruling. Until next time, for officialscamp.com, this is Todd Allen. Thanks for checking out this training video.